Hey, what's up, everybody? Ariel Morel here, former bank VP and the founder of Ready to File, a company that's responsible for originating over $100 million worth of business funding. I'm your host, a former bank vice president that used to work for some of the biggest banks in the United States. And on this video, I'm going to show you 5 legit different ways that you can get business funding for your business, even with bad credit. So if your credit's shot, give this video a shot. That was funny, right? So you see, a lot of entrepreneurs think that having a low credit score that you cannot get funding. But the truth is, there are lenders and programs out there that care more about your business than your credit. So if you understand how to position yourself, you can still get funding, so stay locked in. Let's go. So number 1, you want to start with community development financial institutions. So CDFIs are institutions that get funding directly from the government, from the U.S. Treasury, and other big banks. So the whole purpose of CDFIs is to lend to the following people: underrepresented communities, minorities, people that live in low-income communities, and businesses that serve low-income communities. And also mission-driven businesses. So your business needs capital, and then this capital is going to create an impact in the community, then you can potentially qualify for business funding with a CDFI. And comparing them to major banks, you do not need to have a perfect credit score. What they're going to be looking for is the following. At a minimum, you should have a business plan, financial projections for the next 3 years, and an explanation exactly what happened to your credit. You have to show good character here to be able to pass their bad credit test with most CDFIs. I get it. Maybe you went through some financial hardship and then your credit got messed up. Maybe a medical bill happened. Something happened that was outside of your control, or maybe you were just not in a position that you could pay your bills. So if you can explain, if it was something out of your control, like medical bills, or let's say you went through a worldwide pandemic, that maybe you got furloughed from your job, maybe your business revenue went down, then potentially you can explain why your credit score was low. But this part is super important, so you can pay attention. You want to make sure you are on track or up to date with anything negative on your credit report. So you must be actively either working with a credit repair company or at least paying a minimum monthly payment. So you have to show good character. Remember, that's one of the 5 C's of credit. So this is super important if you want to get this business funding with bad credit. You do have to show financials in most cases, or if they're part of the SBA microloan program, you might not have to show a lot of financials, but business plans are almost always going to be required because they want to see exactly what you're going to do with the money. This is also government funded as well. Number 2, business grants. So business grants is basically money that companies are providing to you so they can get a tax break that you do not have to pay back. They don't really care about your credit. Now, whatever the purpose of the grant is, you have to qualify for. Sometimes there are grants only for women in business. Sometimes there are grants just for a specific type of business, like beauty-based businesses, logistics, software. It all depends on the company. Now, I'm not going to lie, when it comes to applying for grants, it's going to come down to the law or the large numbers. The more grant applications that you apply for, the higher the chance that you're going to get funded. So again, grants is money that you do not have to pay back. So I'm going to give you some websites that you can go find grants are available for you. The number 1 website is helloskip.com. We have grants.gov. We have helloalice.com. We have your local chamber of commerce. We also have your local small business development center, and also you want to visit your local economic development authority. The best grants that you're going to find, they're always going to be at the local level. Yes, your local municipality, your local city hall, they sometimes give funding directly from the federal government, and that goes to the state, that then goes to the local level, and they have to disperse these funds, but then they don't really do marketing to let you know that there are grants available in your neighborhood for businesses that are in that community. So always check with your local EDA, with your SBDC, your local state representative. Reach out to them and ask them, do you have any grants for businesses in the community? You'll be surprised. I have a lot of mentees that get a lot of grants by doing this strategy, but you do have to put in work. If you put a lot of work and you're applying for 10, 20, 30, 50 grants, and you finally get one grant and you get $50,000 to $100,000 that you do not have to pay back, it adds up. Make sure you apply for grants. Number 3, your community bank and local credit unions. Compared to mainstream banks, big banks, the nationwide banks, some of the banks that I actually used to work for, they don't really care much for entrepreneurs as much as the community bank and the credit unions actually care for the business owners that are in their community. That's why they have a little bit of a larger credit box. They also still do, some of them, they still do relationship-based banking. What is relationship-based banking? It's when a business actually listens to the story of the entrepreneur, what they're trying to accomplish, the business, and then they might do a little bit of goodwill lending. When these big banks traditionally will not provide that business funding for the entrepreneur that really needs it, that's when the community banks and the local credit unions step in. I have found programs with people with credit scores as low as 585, 620, people that have recently had a bankruptcy in the last couple of years that I could have never funded those businesses with any of the major big banks. Number 4, the SBA lender matching tool. So the SBA has something called a lender matching tool. So what you do is you go to sba.gov-lender match. Now, the government provides funding to some nonprofits to lend money to you, and also to provide free mentorship by grants that are called TA, technical assistance, that's provided to these nonprofits and these local lenders. So the more money they provide to entrepreneurs that need it, the more funding they might get next year. So because of this, the SBA created a matching tool that after you answer a couple of questions about your business or future business and you enter your address, you're gonna be matched locally with a good like 10 to 50 different banks depending on how big your city is. These lenders get funding from the SBA, and their whole job is to make sure that they're disbursing those funds. So trust me, they wanna work with you, even when you have some challenged credit. Some of them might not, but you'll be surprised how many institutions you can find that are willing to listen to your current situation for your business and provide that capital that your business so much needs. Some of these lenders are gonna care more about your business cash flow, the industry that you're in, how long you have been in business, and also that you actually put some thought behind the application. So you should definitely have some financial projections for the next 3 years at a minimum, a business plan that makes sense, that's gonna show how you're gonna utilize the funds and then how you're gonna turn that $50,000 you're gonna get from the banks into profit. And lastly, we have the alternative lending industry. What is the alternative lending industry? It's comprised of over 13,000 direct lenders, of people that have private money, of also small institutions that wanna lend to businesses where the big banks don't really lend to. When the big say no, and when you're not able to get funding with any of the other places that I mentioned, that's where the alternative lending industry steps in. If you follow the channel, entrepreneurship is when you find a problem and you provide a solution. Alternative lending industry, that's exactly what they do. When business owners need capital fast, they don't have time to wait 4 to 8 weeks to get access to that capital, or even in some cases, 3 to 6 months for grants. They need the capital yesterday. For emergencies, that's when the alternative lending industry steps in, and you're able to get funding in 24 to 48 hours in most cases. Because they provide the funding so quick and they take risks that other lenders wouldn't take, of course, they're gonna charge a premium because of that. However, they do solve a huge problem in the economy, which is helping entrepreneurs. So let's do a quick recap. Even with credit, you can use CDFIs and government-backed programs to tap into low barrier capital. You can apply for grants, money that you do not have to pay back, and your credit score doesn't even matter. Honestly, they don't even check your credit. Then you have the alternative lending industry that's designed to help entrepreneurs get quick access to capital when other lenders will not provide it. You also have the community banks, and make sure you build those relationships with your local credit union, with your local community bank, explain your situation, talk to a business banking relationship manager. And lastly, you have the SBA's lender matching tools, so you can get access to the micro lending program or any other program that they might have available to these nonprofits that they literally get paid by helping you, by also providing mentorship. You do not need to have a perfect credit score. What you need is the right strategy. And if you want to learn exactly how to get business funding for your business in a community of close to 600 other entrepreneurs, make sure you check the link in the description to join my Loan Hero community, where we show you how to get access to capital anywhere from $50,000 to $10 million or more. We have some great education resources. We have some lenders in the community. We also have other entrepreneurs that have successfully been able to get funding, and we also show you how to become a business loan broker. So definitely check the description. And if you got value from this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so other entrepreneurs just like you can find this information a little bit quicker and they can get access to this business funding. And as always, you want the cash, I got the banks. See you later.